Uh, before moving into the topic, I would like to do a quick introduction to Freshworks for those of you who are not familiar. So Freshworks is a SaaS solutions provider, right? It provides solutions specializing in different areas of customer and employee experience. We have more than 50,000 customers across the globe from different industries. We are recognized by Gartner and Forrester as one of the leading solution providers in both areas. And we are also the first Indian SaaS company to be listed in NASDAQ in the US. And to quote a few customer names, some of the household names that you would have heard of, like Paytm, PhonePe, Dunzo, Lenskart, Zomato, etc., use Freshworks solutions on a daily basis. So with that quick introduction, I'll quickly move into the agenda for today. So all of us use messaging, to talk to friends and family, right? So it's like the most convenient way to talk to each other, and that is now getting extended into the business world as well. Customers expect to interact with businesses, like how they interact with friends or a family member. They expect fast and frictionless support, very personalized kind of support, and very secure, right? So one thing is very clear that if you have to adapt to changing customer preferences and manage competition, you have to have messaging as one of the communication channels. But the problem is, how do you go about implementing a messaging channel, right? So that's what we'll look at today. How to deliver delight to your customers through contextual or smarter conversations. So we'll unfold from here. We'll look at the need for smarter conversations and what's like blueprint for you to implement a messaging platform, and how Freshchat, Freshworks' own messaging platform, can help you achieve that. Yeah. So all of us use messaging platforms. Right? Now customers have gone through a meaningful shift in their digital expectations over the last many years, especially during COVID. Right? So they expect very fast kind of support. They expect it to be personalized and very secure. So in today's digital world, as a result, you have so what was considered a great customer experience before is not good enough anymore, right? So they expect businesses to directly come to them in the channels that they use on a daily basis and in their preferred time. And in the digital era that we're living in today, nobody wants to wait. They don't like longer waiting times. Lack of personalization is not a norm anymore, right? In fact, that coincides with one of the findings of a Forbes report. 80% of customers have said that they prefer personalized support. They expect businesses to already have context on what they want. They want you to know the historical conversations that they have had with the businesses, right? And about 73% of customers have told that they expect support anytime, anywhere. I mean, how many of us like to stay on queue on phone support, pressing multiple numbers, passing between different departments? I mean, gone are those days, right? So they expect very quick support, and you would think that that's why we have businesses have mobile apps where customers can get faster support. They have FAQs and so on. But how many mobile apps can one maintain? I mean, there is one for ordering groceries, there's one for ordering food, book tickets, and so on, right? So, and that is why they expect you to be available in the channel that they're already using. And this again resonates with one of the findings by Gartner, right? So one of the reports says that by 2025 or so, most of the businesses will move to third-party messaging platforms and abandon their mobile apps. And in fact, this is already happening in India. I mean, I don't know how many of you read this in the news. I mean, JioMart has completely taken its end-to-end shopping, on WhatsApp, and we ourselves have enabled one of our customers in Africa, to do that, right? It's not just customer service alone anymore. It's everything on the channel that the customers use, right? But supporting customers on the channels that they prefer, does not come without complexities. Now, this is mostly because businesses typically take a fragmented approach, an add and integrate approach, where they go to, I mean, say for example, they wanted to implement a live chat system, right? So they go to one vendor, implement a live chat system, then there is opening up another channel like WhatsApp. So they reach out to a Meta partner and implement WhatsApp. This is in a different system manned by a different team. So like that, you have different channels like Instagram, Facebook Messenger, different people managing this in silos. Now the problem comes when the same customer reaches out to you on different channels. Say for example, they reached out to you on live chat first. Somehow they didn't get a resolution, and then they come to you on WhatsApp. The person who is going to take that WhatsApp chat has no clue on what the customer told on the live chat platform. This is going to cause frustration for the customer as well as for your customer service, representatives, right? So, so, so they expect, customers expect to interact with businesses like how they interact with a friend. I mean, I'll tell you why I'm saying this. Now, say we are talking to a friend, today on WhatsApp and tomorrow on a phone call and, day after on Facebook Messenger. And this friend is not going to say that, hey, I don't remember what you told to me on WhatsApp. He's going to have end-to-end idea. That's exactly what customers expect from businesses as well today, right? So they expect support 24/7. They expect you to be always on, right? And give them a very personalized kind of support. And your customer service representatives, they want the right information at the right time to deliver, that support to your customers, right? So how do you go about implementing that, right? So that's what we'll be looking at today. So in short, you have to first of all bring all the channels together, right? Break all the silos and bring all the messaging channels together and introduce automation with the help of chatbots so that it saves a lot of time for your customer service representatives, right? And also make it extremely easy, for you to deploy subsequent customer journeys and how, I mean, ensure that you are able to make continuous improvements to the system by tracking the data and user behavior across all the channels. We'll dive deep from here and look at each of these aspects in detail. The first step for you is to unify all the messaging channels. We spoke about going to different service providers and implementing channels separately, right? I mean, you have to break all of that and bring all the channels together. When I say together, say you have different channels like Instagram, WhatsApp, etc. All of this should be flowing into one single inbox. The reason is then your representatives don't have to switch between multiple tabs. They'll be able to address customer queries right from a single place, right? And they should also have a single view of the customer, right? When they open up a particular chat, there could have been historical conversations also on different channels. They should have a single view so that they have complete, I mean, this is what I mean by context, right? They don't have to start asking questions right from the beginning to the customer. So it's very important to bring everything to one place and then introduce automation into the ecosystem. So why automation? Your agents wants a first line of defense, right? And customers do not want to wait for very simple queries like, say, how do I, where do I find your nearest store, or how do I, order for a replacement. So for these kind of regular queries, I mean, we just spoke about customers wanting speed and your agents want productivity, right? So for that, you have to have chatbots as your first line of defense, where it should be capable of answering simple queries and also a little bit of complex queries. Let me give you some examples, right? So you should be able to train these bots. I mean, basically it should have natural language processing capabilities. It should be able to detect intent, and in India, we speak multiple languages, so it should obviously support multiple languages, right? So you should be able to train the bot to answer basic questions. First of all, like, say, the nearest store, orders, I mean, all of this, etc. And it should also be intelligent enough to talk to your internal systems and address a little bit of more complex queries as well. For example, if somebody wants to know their order status, you can train the bot to actually collect some basic information like name, email ID, order number, etc. And it can talk to your internal system like your order management system and respond to the customer back. And one more interesting use case I can talk about is it's not about just customer service. There's so many things that you can achieve using chatbots. You can issue loyalty cards over chat itself, instead of you can abandon plastic altogether, and then you can gather information and can talk to the loyalty management platform and issue loyalty cards. So like that, it's only left to your imagination. You can botify a lot of customer journeys like this. As a result, what happens is a lot of queries gets filtered out. So your chatbots acts as L0s for your customer service representatives. So they get a lot of time to focus on actual complex queries, right? So they're able to spend more time there and help the customers with faster resolution. Yeah, and then it's about distributing the workload, right? I mean, once you have all of this, it is still important for you to distribute the workload equally. Otherwise, part of the problem still remains. I mean, one set of your representatives might be loaded with work and customers are waiting. You're still not solving the problem completely. So the platform that you use should be intelligent enough to distribute the workload across all of your customer service workforce, right? And you should be able to scale easily. Say, for example, you start with you you shouldn't be having a dependency on developers, right? If you have to deploy customer journeys as you go, it should have some pre-built templates, and it should have a very easy to use bot builder, which is kind of no code, low code. Even a non-technical person should be able to deploy customer journeys on the go, because typically businesses start with a single journey, then they realize, okay, what more journeys they can botify, and then they would want to keep scaling up, and it should be the platform that you use should make it easy for you and not very complex, right? And once the system is there in place, it should enable you to continuously track the data and user behavior across all of the channels. You should be able to know uh, on what category. I mean, even after all this filtering through bots and everything, where are your representatives spending a lot of time, right? How can you reduce the average handling time? What more customer journeys can you botify? And for this, you want powerful analytics capabilities, right? And I'll quickly talk about what Freshworks offers in this regard. And we have a powerful messaging platform called Freshchat, which basically brings all the channels together. We have one-click integrations with all these channels that we spoke about right now: WhatsApp, Instagram, Facebook Messenger, and all of these channels. We are a Meta partner as well. So the advantage is all of this can be integrated into one single inbox, and your representatives will not be switching multiple tabs. They are going to be working on one software, one window, where it's going to bring all the messages together, and they will have a single view of the customer as well. And it also comes with bots, so that you are able to establish your 𝗕𝗷 like we discussed about. And these bots can do anything between answering frequently asked questions to complex use cases like we discussed about, right? And you also have the advantage of extending into the entire Freshworks ecosystem. Yes, messaging is very important, but then you cannot completely do away with traditional channels like telephony, email, etc. So you can actually extend it to the entire omni-channel ecosystem, where customer queries from all of these channels flow into one single place, and it becomes extremely easy for your representatives to use that. I'll take a quick example of what we are doing with Dunzo, right? So I mean, most of you will be familiar about Dunzo. Dunzo is a hyperlocal delivery app. So when they wanted to expand across 8 different cities, they realized that, I mean, it's not a choice for them. I mean, they have to have a lot of in-app chat functionalities, and that's where they leveraged Freshchat. Without going into a lot of details, I'll just talk about some numbers, right? So we established that 𝗕𝗷s for them. So what happened is 50% of their customer queries are being answered by bots. And that's exactly what I'm talking about. I mean, it is to this tune you can reduce the number of queries that goes to your agents. They started off with few customer journeys, they scaled up, it was easy to deploy. Now a lot of customer journeys are being handled by bots, and then there is a smooth handover to agents also if required. Bots are unable to answer the queries, you can do a smooth handover as well. And as a result, because they are able to focus more on actual complex queries, the customer resolution time has got slashed to 80%, right? So and because of that, they were able to easily scale their support infrastructure, and they're able to handle 2 million deliveries every month. So conclusively, see, any business wants to have great customer satisfaction metric, great NPS scores, and ultimately a higher customer lifetime value, right? So to achieve that, you have to be present where your customers are on all the channels, but then make it extremely easy for them to communicate with you and not complicated. And for the smooth execution of this, I mean, it lies in the hands of your representatives. They are at ground zero facing the customers, so you have to make it easy for them as well, to talk to customers across all the channels, and ultimately have contextual conversations or smarter conversations, right? I think with that, I come to the end of the keynote. I hope that was helpful. If you have any questions, we have a booth outside. Please do drop in. We'll be happy to answer your questions, and or we can connect on LinkedIn and have a chat. Once again, my name is Dhivakar. Thanks for your time and patience. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, Dhivakaran sir.